All right, a little bit of day in the life of owning a bunch of Land Rovers and other cars in Iowa. We got 4 or 5 inches of snow today, and that means we have to plow and move everything. Got like a half-acre lot here at the shop, and 50-some cars there, and a building, So, not a whole lot of room. Use our little Kubota, get it all cleaned up. But we're gonna give you a little update on where we sit on a couple Land Rovers and what got us into Land Rovers today. So we'll give you a little history on what started the sickness and how we got here. But let's do the update first here. This is the 04 that we drove back from Philadelphia. And sitting pretty good, looking pretty good. I'll show you in a couple minutes what we got sitting for that, waiting to go on it. And then over here, we're gonna run. Look at the little Kubota, our little snow pusher. But right here, we'll have a separate video on this guy. This is a new addition to the fleet, and quite possibly, well, I know it is possible, not quite possibly, this is certainly the best discovery we have ever owned, and quite possibly one of the best that was available on the market. This is our new 99 Disco 1. Yeah, late Disco 1. This guy is super clean, and when I say new to us, I mean in nearly new condition. This is probably one of the lower mile ones you will ever see. So stay tuned for a video on that. There's the little snow driving LR3. That's our shop truck with the 2.5-inch Proud Rhino lift rods. And we'll go back in the corner. This one is the Florida trip LR3, southern one. First time in the snow. It's not liking it, but we have the ARB bumper off, getting refinished. This one also got new radiator, new water pump, and the headlights are getting refinished and getting all new bulbs, since with the ARB bumper it is hard to get at those. So this one will be available soon. Here's my poor little 2002, I think it's 2002, Disco. This is the one that Tom didn't like. It's kind of our parts car. Or should we lop the top off of this thing and make a little truggy, a little bigger tire, and go pound around in the woods? So let me know down below, would you like to see us cannibalize this one? Being it's a parts truck. It's gonna be a parts truck for us one way or another. It's not fit for the road per se, or isn't financially sensible to make to the road. But I'm gonna make some trails on the property and we can have some fun. We got this one that we could cut up, make a little truggy, and just pound around, and you guys could watch me be an idiot. Does that sound good to you? Comment down below. What do you think? And then here is the old Range Rover Classic. This one's sitting in the back here. This one is running, but not running quite correctly, so this is on the back burner. And by back burner, I mean probably this weekend we'll pull her back into the shop and mess with it. But we got some customer cars to deal with first, and unfortunately that's how life goes, and our stuff gets put on hold. So there's that one, and I'll show you where our other 2008 LR3 is. We got another one, and then I also have what is the cheapest LR3 in the country. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's the typical like YouTuber thing, cheapest in the country, but it is the cheapest one we could find, and we'll have a video on that shortly as well. So that is all the Land Rovers that are currently at the shop. We got a couple at Ted's house, that Series 2. We'll have some more on that here shortly as well. But we're gonna get cleaning this up, and then we will, speaking of Land Rovers, got a Range Rover Sport right there. But we're gonna get to cleaning this all up, then we'll go inside and we'll talk about a couple more Land Rover things. This is a Land Rover video, but a couple more Land Rover things, and like I said, we'll talk about what got us in to this little sickness. Right here is some of the goodies for that '04 Discovery that we picked up in Philly. I bet you can guess what's in there. But let's open it up here. All sorts of fun stuff. This is a complete top-end refresh kit from Lucky 8. We got the upgraded ARP head studs, new head gaskets, and then we have the upgraded steering tie rods and drag links sitting for it. We'll make sure this thing is as good as it can get for the next owner. Oil pump gear set. It is not being replaced because it's needed, but preventatively. And then here is some of the fun stuff. Some springs. So springs and shocks, little lift kit from Terra Firma, doing the 2-inch lift kit. We're going to keep it mild with a 2-inch lift, but just enough to make it where it should be. We'll do a little bit bigger tire. And then we have that rear quarter chassis coming from the UK. Has a little bit of rust on the rear where a lot of the discos rust, and we're going to fix it properly. We want it to be the best it can be, so we'll document that process along with a lift kit and the top end refresh, so stay tuned for that as well. Another little neat one we got in, this is a customer's car, but this is a supercharged 5-liter. And we're getting down there and getting some new timing chains on this one. This is the 5-liter that came in, well, the supercharged one didn't come in the LR4, but 5-liter that came in the Land Rovers of the early teens. That's the LR4, Range Rover Sport, Range Rover full size like this one, and these had lots of timing chain issues. This one was very loose and super close to being a failure. And right here lies the infamous problem with the 5-liter timing chains. This one ran when we pulled it in, making a ton of racket. And we can almost pull the chain right off the gear without doing anything with the tensioner. All right, so we got everything somewhat cleaned up from the snow, and we are back inside. And we didn't talk about a few of the Land Rovers that we have laying around, and most of those are at Ted's house. He's still got that Range Rover Classic that's getting the LS. Not much progress on that yet. Should have some in the future soon. And then we got that 69 Series IIa, and we are going to pull the engine out of that this weekend so we can determine exactly what went wrong, and then we can decide what to do with that hunk of iron. Hopefully we can save it. So that'll be coming shortly. And then we have another 08 gray LR3 that we went ahead and put some 32.5-inch tires on today. Ted took that home. Alternator went out. Of course it did. That's just how it works. And I can stick up a little video of that. We are in the 2008 LR3, the one with the tires, the one that I got stuck. But anyways, we're in a little bit of a snowstorm right now. And for once, me, Joe, is going to rescue Ted, not the other way around. Usually we have to call Ted when I do something dumb, but I get to be the hero today. He has our other 2008 Land Rover Gray that we just put some bigger tires on. He was driving that to pick up some tools, and I guess it went haywire. So here we are scanning it now. It's got a bunch of red, all sorts of red.
Not a single module. Looks like my bank account after buying all these Land Rovers.
So Ted thinks that the alternator went out, and I'm venturing to guess that he's right, because I wouldn't know, but he'd have a better idea. So we're gonna see, as he says, how many pixies are in it, if they'll monitor it. All right, so with the jump pack hooked up and car off, we are at 11.3 right now. We'll try and fire it up. So, still at 11.3. You want to unhook it? And we're going to have Ted unhook the jump pack. And instantly, we get all our faults coming up. And we are down to 8 volts. So, I don't know if you can hear it. Alternator's kind of whiny. It's not happy. It's whining. Alternator. Nothing too exciting. So it will stay in the garage for now. We will get an alternator, and I will drive Ted back to the shop in the other Land Rover. See, this is why you have 12 of them. One can break each day of the week, and you still have leftovers. So, top tip of the day, buy more Land Rovers. I got to rescue Ted. That doesn't happen too often, so made me feel good. But anyways, on to what kind of started, I guess you could call, our addiction to Land Rovers. So, starts about 10 years ago. And it actually starts with our youngest brother. He was the first one in the family to get a Land Rover. He got I think it was a 96 Discovery. And he put that through its paces, let me tell you that. We'll have him come on and tell you some stories of what he did to that. But that was the first one in the family. And if you haven't been in a Discovery, they're kind of quirky, neat. Different driving position. You sit almost like right up against the door. Feel like you're almost outside the car. So it was just kind of neat. Don't get to experience that in a lot of other vehicles. So that kicked off many more purchases down the road. And I'll kind of toss up some pictures of some of the neat Discoveries we've had over the years. We've had some neat colors and just some nice ones over the years. We've had probably 50, 60 of them, Land Rovers, over the years. So we've had a few, and let me add up what we got now. Currently we have 3 LR3s, so that's 3. 2 Range Rover Classics, so 5. 1 Series, so that's 6. And then a few Discos. We got the low mile one. Oh, and we have another Disco 1, 96 showing up tomorrow, so that's 2. We have the Junk 02, so that's 3. We have the 04 we got in Philadelphia, 4. And then in between cleaning the snow and coming here, we bought a 5th one, an 04 out of California. So deciding whether to fly out and drive that back or get it shipped. So that's 5. So we have 11 Land Rovers right now. How many do we need? More. Unless you guys want to buy one. We will sell them. But anyways, we've had some neat ones over the years. We had a cool little red one, was probably the first one that we modified. We had a few before that. First one we modified was this little red one I'll toss up. We built our own front bumper, terra firma lift, 265, 75, 16 tires on it. Just good all around little vehicle. And it was red. You don't get to see too many straight red Discos, so that's probably one of my favorite ones we've had. Then we kind of continued on, and Ted got himself an LR3. That one had ARB front bumper, rear tire carrier, 2.5-inch lift rods, bigger tire, and that started Ted's little off-road habit with the Land Rovers. Then he stepped back into a couple Discovery 2s that were fairly modified, and those were pretty neat, and he did some pretty hefty off-roading with those. He actually kind of tore the rear corner off the 04, the last Discovery that he wheeled. But that one we built 2 bumpers, had front winch, that was re-geared and lockers. So it was pretty good. Pretty good. After that though, he kind of swayed on the off-road stuff and got influenced from some local people, and he's got a Wrangler now. It's the tan one you've seen in the videos. I can't make too much fun of him because it does do well. We got a cheap LR3 coming. That will be, well that makes 12. I own it, we just don't have it here. So we have 12 Land Rovers, but we got a cheap as in the cheapest one I could find, LR3, that we will get a little crazy with and see how it does out in the woods. I don't think this little sickness addiction is going to go away anytime soon. So if you guys have made it this far along the journey with us, we are going to continue on with our little Land Rover craziness. We'll add more, sell some off, add more, sell some off. Who knows what we'll have in the future. But anyways, give us a like down below if you made it this far into the video. We would appreciate that. And if you want to see more Land Rover craziness, along with some other stuff, it's not just Land Rover stuff, but if you want to see Land Rover stuff, subscribe, and we'll catch you soon. Appreciate you guys watching. Have a good night.